Welcome to the Startup Grind.
So before we begin, I'll give you a short history of Startup Grind. Startup Grind was started by a man called Derek Anderson. He was a tech developer in Silicon Valley, and he started a few companies that kept failing. Now, in Silicon Valley, when your company fails, you're not called a failure. When your company fails, you're called experienced. And people actually look for you to give you more money to start the next company because they know you won't make the same mistakes. And so Startup Grind is partly supposed to spread that culture of entrepreneurship to other parts of the world. Because in some places, when your business fails, people don't even want to associate with you. Like, that guy is a failure. They're afraid you'll spread the failure bug or something. So what happened is Derek kept failing, and he kept learning. So he kept calling his friends over and telling them, I failed this time because of this, this, and this. I think this is what we need to change. Then his friends also told him, I also failed because of this, and this worked. And so the first time they met 5 people after a movie. Then the next time there were 9 people. Then at some point they became 100 people, and guys were actually coming from other cities to hear their experience and how their businesses were doing. And so these guys who came from other cities decided that they wanted to start Startup Grind in their cities because Silicon Valley is not the only city with entrepreneurs. So eventually it spread to other cities in the US, then it spread to the UK, it spread to Asia, and now we are in more than 150 cities in more than 65 countries globally. And every month in those cities, we host such talks like the one we are about to have now. So today at Startup Grind we are going to be hosting Nuya Hellen Dausen. I'm sure you've seen the poster and stuff like that. We met Nuya a few weeks ago. I met her for the first time a few weeks ago, and I was struck by how humble she was. Usually you don't meet former Miss Tanzania, former Miss Universe, and they're humble. You usually get a totally different character. But when I met her, she was a business lady. She came with a book. She came with a pass, nini, akuja akakaa chini. And she started talking to us so what do you guys do? We were meeting to ask her about her company, but then she started asking us about our company, and a 30-minute talk turned into 2 hours. Was it 2 hours and a half or something? At where? Where was this? At Subway in the new Shoppers Plaza in Masaki. So she's one of the coolest people I've ever met, truly. And I'm really happy and honored to have her here today. So please, let's stand and give a warm welcome to Nuya Hellen Dausen.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
This is an informal talk, so feel free, relax, and listen and see how much you can gain. So, Nuya,
Yes.
Karibu. I have some very hard questions for you, though. Okay. It's informal, so you cannot fail. There's no marks, but they're very hard. So, to begin with, tell us, how do you describe yourself? Because I've just described you and I only met you the other day. So, who's Nuya Hellen Dausen?
Wow. My official name is Hellen Dausen, and I describe myself as a very optimistic person and lover of nature, free-spirited, and I love God. And I'm basically getting to know myself each day, so I get to discover who I really am as days go by.
Tell us about your childhood. Like, where did you grow up? Were there things in your childhood that showed that this lady is going to become an entrepreneur?
Oh, wow. Okay, my childhood. I grew up at Kijitonyama, just behind the street. And my mom is a businesswoman as well. So she used to keep chicken and sell eggs. So I used to do the same as well. Whenever she was not home, I could sell eggs to people and I could keep her money. She kind of trusted me. So I sold eggs for a very long time as I was growing up. And it was really nice. So I didn't really know I was going to be in business. But growing up doing that and seeing my mom working so hard to provide for us, of course my dad did the same. But she kind of instilled those habits and her business characters to me when I was very young. So I wouldn't find a problem selling anything right now. Yeah.
So you grew up in Kijitonyama,
Yes.
which means you went to school in Da?
Yes, I did. My primary school was Muimbili Primary School from grade 1 to grade 7. And then I moved to St. Mary's. For some reason, my parents decided I needed English, school that taught English from every subject. So that move was crazy for me because switching from pure Swahili to pure English, I had a problem at home. I could ask my mom what "there" means in Swahili so that I can just get things straight. And it was really hard for me, but we somehow managed to do that. So I moved to St. Mary's. I had to repeat grade 7 because, I wasn't really getting into that English system, so I had to repeat. And then after that, I went to St. Mary's from Form 1 to Form 6. And then I did my high school at Shaban Roberts. I studied HGL, History, Geography, and Language. Then after that, I went to Nairobi and I studied at United States International University, USIU in Nairobi. And I studied business, international business administration, and I concentrated on entrepreneurship. The reason why I did business, first it was the easiest subject at school. So I had to pick the easiest thing for me because honestly, school was a little hard for me. From day one, up to today, I have problem with school. But I had to pick the easiest thing, and I knew at one point in time I would start my own business. At that particular moment, I didn't know what it would be. I had no idea, but I just had to study because I knew at the end of the day I'll do business and that will help me.
So has your education helped you in any way?
Yes,
in business?
yes, it has disciplined me in some ways, and it has made me be patient because 4 years in university is not a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, you become patient, and I do apply what I've learned in school right now. And you get the connection from school and just the whole, because now I see things in a practical way. But then I used to write about things, write about business the whole 4 years. But now I remember, I said it this and that. I don't go back to see my notes, but I know at the back of my mind I did something like that. So pretty much it helps me.
I read somewhere on a blog that you accidentally became a model.
Don't read blogs.
So it's not true.
No, that wasn't true. Actually, I wanted to be a model and I wanted to make it a career up to now, if it was my choice. It was my choice. If the environment favored my choice, I could say that. So I started modeling when I was about 17 here in Dar es Salaam before I even before I even got to high school, I think. So that's the thing I wanted to do with my life. That's the thing I enjoy doing and I love doing. If there's an opportunity today to do it, I will do it. But I loved it, and I kept doing it until I was at the university. I kept taking part-time jobs from my studies, and I did modeling. It was good money. I was in Nairobi then. It was not, Dar es Salaam was not as paying as Nairobi, so I enjoyed doing it there. So it wasn't by accident. It was intentional, you could say.
And did becoming a model and then becoming 2010 Miss Universe Tanzania and then studying at New York Film Academy.
Yes.
And then, let me see if I stalked you
Well.
enough. And then you started a TV show, Africans Abroad, while you were in US. And then, okay, I think that's all I remember.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all I remember. But how did all that influence your entrepreneur mindset and your business when you started? In fact, tell us a little bit about that phase
life,
of your
right?
life. Yeah.
Okay, after I got into modeling, I wanted to get more exposure so that I can get more jobs. And so I entered the Miss Universe contest. I was referred to by a friend, and I thought it was a good opportunity for me to be out there and so that I can advance my career. So I went with it, and luckily I won. And the part that comes with winning was a scholarship, a partly scholarship to New York Film Academy studying performing arts. That means acting and everything that comes with it. And that sounded exciting for me, being in a new city, studying things that I don't really understand, but it was good. And then after I finished my university degree, that's when the opportunity came in 2010. Then I told my parents I want to take that opportunity. You never know what's going to happen. So I packed my bags and left for California. Actually, I picked California for some reason because it was a movie area. Everybody is excited about LA. So it was exciting. I started and trained in performing arts, acting for stage and screen. It was a different moment for me. It was a new experience, and I dreamed every day to be a movie star when I was living there. But I also met friends, and one of my friends used to work with a TV station, and she was organizing this program. And when you're living in America, you just take every opportunity that comes and knocking at your door. Like if it's an opportunity to make you be out there, you grab it, you know? So I said, why not? TV is not really my thing, so let me just try. Maybe somebody could see something. So I gave it a go. It wasn't my career path, but somehow it aligned with it. So that was it. And then some problems happened with the TV show and everything, so we had to cease the program. So everybody went their different ways. I still went to do my classes. And once I was done, it was really hard for me to get modeling jobs because the time I arrived in the US, once you're about over 25, it becomes really hard for you to get modeling jobs there because everybody's 17 and 18 and you're here from Africa and okay, you're 25. It was kind of really hard. And that's the time and moments deep inside I thought I was not going to go along with this for very long. But sometimes as people, we dream whatever we want to dream, but deep inside there's a voice that tells you how far you can go with it. So for me, I knew as much as I wanted to be a model and an actress in America, but I can push for so far. As much as I dreamed about that for over 10, 15 years of my life, but I kind of hit a dead end when I reached there. So deep inside, I knew I had to change my game. I was not going to be 35 and still dreaming. And at the back of my mind, I knew I wanted to study business. I wanted to do business, but I didn't know what exactly. So I was done with my course. It was 8 months. And then I had to take some time off and be with my family there and think really what I wanted to do in my life, what business I wanted to do. So I came around with so many business plans. I used to write every day because I was free. I had the whole day to my life. And I just wrote what could work, and still I didn't get exactly what I wanted to do. It was really tough to change the industry, but I had to do it because I just had to do it.
You had no choice.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you settle on what you chose, like skincare and soap making? I can get the connection, like modeling and skincare, but how did you get there?
Wow. After I came back in August 2012, home. Still, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And my time was up there. So I came back. And as I was searching what I wanted to do, every day I just sleep and wake up and be on my computer just looking for things to do. And I would wake up and my parents would ask me, okay, so aren't you going for interviews? And I'm like, okay, let's just try. I could go to a magazine and see and send my CVs, my poor CV, but yeah, I could be called for some interview. I go and do it, but there's somebody who interviews you and already knows you don't want to be there. You know, you just want to get something going. And I thought they saw, I thought they saw that in me, because when you talk to somebody and they really want the job, you can tell. If they don't want the job, they just want something to get by, you can tell. So I never got any calls back. Okay, I went to 2 interviews. So,
Only 2?
Yeah, only 2. And I was just done. I had never thought I could be employed. Sometimes I feel like I'm unemployable because I wanted to work for myself. But how are you going to tell your parents you want to work for yourself while you don't have anything going on? It was really hard to convince my mom, my dad, but a day came. It was just a normal day. You just wake up and do your own stuff. The night came, and I was going to a shower. And then I always use natural products with me since I was in high school. Apply my body with olive oil, and then I sleep. And then there's a time that baobab oil was very popular, mafuta ya ubuyu. And then I thought I could switch from olive oil to baobab oil. So I switched. And then I thought, just from the shower, I was like, okay, I'm using baobab oil. Why can't I have a soap to go with it? And then in the morning, I went online and Googled, okay, how to make natural soap or availability of natural soap. Then I saw so many studies and people have written and they have amazing soaps out there that I could not see in Tanzania. And then I was like, maybe this would be good. So I told my mom, hey, I want to make soap for a living, period. So that was it. And then she had to convince my dad that it's a good idea, let her try. Because when a kid wants to do something and they have nothing else going on in their life, we just let them do it. So that's what came about. But I didn't think of it how it's going to be, how it is right now. But that's how I started with. And then my mom told me, if you want to make soap for a living, I think you should be professional with it so that if people take it and use it, there will be no problem with them. So I went online again and Googled who can teach me how to make natural soap. Because the soaps that were online, I never saw them here. So definitely there's nobody to teach me here. So then I found this lady with her family who have been running a natural bath and body care business for over 14 years in Malaysia. Then I started talking to her, can you teach me this and that? Apparently, she had courses that she teaches people, but I was the first African student to fly all over to Malaysia just to learn how to make, she was surprised how to make soap. So then I never thought it was going to be a business. That was just, I just want to make soap for me, myself. Maybe if it turns out, then fine. But Nuya Essence was never in my mind there. That was in 2003 there. Yeah, so I learned, I came back, and I learned a lot of things. The moment I started interacting with the oils and butters and herbs and the Malaysian culture, it was just so rich, and I thought maybe Tanzania is ready for this thing. Maybe what makes me happy do this can make somebody else happy and benefit from the natural ingredients and our natural resources that we have right now. So I wanted it to be unique. I wanted to incorporate things that are not available here in Tanzania, but they can be available now. So it was a very good experience for me to
Sorry. How did you like settle on New Year's essence?
Yeah.
New Year.
Okay. First, I hated the name Nuya all my life.
It was your name.
It was my great grandmother's name.
Okay.
So they used to call me Nuya when I was in primary. I hated that thing. So then when I was in the US, I was looking for a unique name that I could use as an actress, because everybody has a unique name, either your first name or your middle name or your surname. So my then mentor suggested, do you have any other name we could use? And I was like, maybe Nuya. She's like, yeah, that Nuya, yeah, it's fine. So I went on Facebook, I changed my name, and on Twitter, I changed my name, everywhere. So I started calling myself Nuya, and then once I left, it died. And then there was a time I was looking for a name for my business. Then I thought Nuya could be great, because it's unique. It's just 4 letters people can remember. And I wanted the essence to represent the natural, the authenticity, the beauty of whatever I'm creating to the people. So they read Nuya's essence, it's good.
So when you're in Malaysia, like you didn't have New Year's
No.
essence.
Not at all. And I just thought I was just gonna make soap and that's it.
Okay. Soap for yourself.
For myself, for people around me, maybe for selling, but it wasn't really business that much.
But you know, the best businesses actually start when you're solving your own problems.
Yeah,
So that's
pretty good.
That's a really interesting story. When you came back, now you have a product that you like. How did you like decide on a business model? Like, I'm going to be making such a product. These are the people who are going to be my customers, and this is how I'm going to get the products to them. First, who are your first customers? The first person to come and say, I'll pay for this soap. Can you remember?
Wow. I can't remember, but the first person apart from me and my family.
Your family was paying for the soap?
No, they're not paying.
Okay.
Mom, you're not paying. I remember because my mom has a nail and hair salon, and there's a lady, she was half Tanzanian, half Kenyan, and she had a skin issue. And she came to the salon and told, the salon, they just talk, and my mom said, I have a daughter who can help you. So she called me, and then I went there, I saw her skin. It was terrifying, but so I gave her advice, and I sold her my first soap. I can't remember her name, but yeah.
Did she ever come back?
She did. Once or twice, and then she disappeared. I don't know where she went.
At least she got you your first customer.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and your first product was the soap, because
Yes.
now you have...
It was soap.
And how long did you make soap until you decided to branch off?
For about 6 months, and then I started producing hair care too, conditioner and shampoo, which I don't anymore. And then after that, I had to study a course online. I'm an online junkie. Everything I do, this is like that. So I buy books, I study, I take courses a lot, and I do research. And then I took a course for about 6 months to a year, how to make the body care, the full line. Because somebody was using my soap, and like, then what? After I use the natural handmade soap, then I have to go back and use lotions. And it doesn't really make sense. Then I thought maybe I should create the whole line from somebody using a soap, then the body oil or body butter, and you put your clothes on and go.
So your first product actually created a need for the next product.
the next product.
Wow, that's interesting. So how did you, like, these guys were all coming to you to buy the soap? You didn't have because I know your soap now is sold in Nairobi.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't think you always go to Nairobi.
No.
So the first channel of distribution was people coming to you
Yes.
at home.
At home and at the farmer's market. That's the first time I launched my products.
Oyster Bay Farmers Market.
Yes, Oyster Bay Farmers Market. I used to do I still do twice a month farmers market, and we launched in June 2014. First time to be in the public and selling soap.
Wow.
Yes, so for now, I did approach shops that could carry our line. We have about 5 retailers. So because I don't have a shop at the moment, so they go straight to the shops and buy. And then I did my research and I found out a good shop that could sell my products in Nairobi. I always have a thing of knocking on doors and ask people for what I want. If they say no, what's the worst that can happen? No, go home. That's it. So I asked the lady if she could carry my line, and I tell her exactly this is the kind of clients that would love this product, and I think your boutique will be a good place for me to showcase, and you get customers, I get customers too. No. And since we signed that contract, it's good. I mean, you get followers and you get people asking you for this and that. Because before I signed with her, I had so many emails from Nairobi, people asking me, how can we get this? But it was hard for me to send one soap to Nairobi and back. Tomorrow, another one. It's expensive. So I had to look for somebody with a shop, with a good following to carry our products there.
Wow,
luckily, she agreed. It's like, okay.
Did she ever try the product?
Yes, we had to send the samples to them first to try, and then to give us feedback. Was good. And then we continue with business.
So how did the guys in Nairobi find out about your soap?
Mostly Instagram.
Social media.
Social media, because I post a lot on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Those are like my marketing tools, I think, easier for me to advertise. Because sometimes as a small business, it's hard to pay for magazine advertisement or newspapers. Somebody can just see once and that's it. But for social media, and you get people reposting and they get to see cute pictures, kind of so you sell really well. So they got me through social media.
Interesting. And did you partner with anyone when you started out, like someone to help you provide this, or someone to help you ship, or someone to help you?
No partnership. No partnership, none.
Wow.
Yet.
Interesting.
Right now, just the partnership I have with the Nairobi shop. Yeah, that's one. But as far as the business is concerned, I'm partnering with someone, but I will not mention it until it's done deal. But as a beginning,
now it's in the process.
Yeah, it's in the process.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
So what does soap making entail in a nutshell, in short? What is the actual process?
Okay, actually it's a very simple process. It involves sodium hydroxide, which they call it alkaline, or lye, they call it. That's the thing that really transforms the oils into soap. So we use the alkaline, the vegetable oils, butters, and herbs, essential oils of fragrance. So the process involves those 3 things: alkaline, oils and butters, or herbs, whatever you want to mix, depending on what type of soap you want to make. So if I'm to create soap for acne-prone skin, I would use like our famous bamboo charcoal soap. We use the sodium hydroxide, and then I have 4 base oils that I use, which is olive oil, palm oil, coconut oil, rice bran oil. And in every soap we use shea butter for the moisturizing properties. And then for the bamboo charcoal itself, we put the actual charcoal in the soap, because that's what draws out the toxins from your skin and dries out the acne and everything. So basically, that's it. The alkaline, you mix it with the oils and butters, and then you pour in a certain container for it to get the shape. You wait for 24 hours. After it has to be under covers. You have to cover it with blankets for 24 hours, because that's where the whole process takes place over the night. And then the next morning, you cut it in your nice bars. You have to put them in a place where there is a lot of air for it to dry for 4 to 6 weeks. So pretty much like that. That's it.
And what were the struggles that you went through? I remember there's a story you told me.
Yeah.
When you were starting out,
yeah.
What are the struggles you went through? I'm sure they'd like to know.
First, because I didn't have somebody to look up to who has been in the soap making industry, who has started really small like I did. So I couldn't get one-on-one, advice and everything. So everything I experienced was firsthand for me. So I built the small place to make my soap at the backyard of my parents' home. And then I thought it was really cool. Everything was nice and small and cute, and my oils are there, and everything is supposed to be done. First, you can imagine that time I had no idea about the authorities, because the people that I read everything from online, their rules are different from our country. So they don't have to go through the process that we have to go through here. So I couldn't read that anywhere, so I didn't know. So I just went ahead and put everything together, and somebody tells me, oh, your soap, you have to go through this and this and this and that. So the authorities came, they saw my place, they were not impressed. They said, no, there's a lot of contamination, I don't know what and what. They put a lot of things there that it was hard for me. And then I thought, I'm just a small soap maker. I need to make this for a living. So if you tell me, oh, this is wrong, what am I going to do? I was hurt that day. I really cried that day, because it's really not fair for somebody who is starting out really small. So, of course, the next morning, my dad gave me the other go down to do my work. But I was thinking, for somebody who didn't have that opportunity, that means their life is it for them. That was it. Because it was really expensive for me to get back up and build everything again. And I was like, this is really not fair. But sometimes I think they do things and not considering that small person who is starting really, really small. They expect me to build something really big and like a big industry. It was just not. It was nice because you get to have a full-fledged factory going on. But for somebody who doesn't have the money and the space, it was really expensive. So I listened to them, and I promised them I would make changes because I really needed for it to work. And the next morning, I told my parents this is what happened. And then my dad offered to give me a go down so that I can do my work. So the construction began immediately. Again, there's so much money went into it that I did not expect. So the next time the authorities came, TBS, they were impressed with what was there. So they gave me the license because of what was there. So that means if they had come to see my other place, they wouldn't. So it was somehow good news for me. I made changes, and then I was approved. So that was it.
How much did the first one cost?
The first one was really small. It was my own money. So about 2 million. Yeah, so this other one, it was a lot, and partly sponsored by my father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So now you have a functioning company, you have a functioning soap making industry, let's say, a small industry.
Yes.
So how did you do research, so that you know that this is the right product for this market? Because sometimes people just make products and then they don't sell, and then they wonder why they're not selling. Because there's this guy called Steve Blank. He says that once you have an MVP, a minimum viable product, you have to get out of the building. You have to go and meet the customers and ask them, what do you think of this? What should we change? And things like that. So did you ever go out there, meet your customers and do research?
I would say my best research area was during the farmers market, because we were in the early stages of going out there and meeting our customers face to face. We are not selling at any other shop, but there. So I spent the whole day interacting with our customers, and you could hear you could see how they react once they touch your product. They smell it and they feel it. So until they make their final purchase. So the whole day I was just looking at them and their reaction. Some people would not buy, but you can tell they can relate. They love the product, and I know the next time they will come and buy it. So that was the first time really I had That was my market research then, because we were really young. We could basically change if something was going wrong at that particular time. And another thing was we were in a moment where everybody wants to live a healthy life when it comes to their food, when it comes to their daily routine, working out. And people are looking for natural products that can really benefit their skin and not harm their skin in the next 10 years, 15 years to time. And when I look at the market, when I go to supermarket or any other store, I don't see something that is authentic. I read the ingredients, now I understand each ingredient that's written there. And I don't see that natural
Authentic
thing that people are looking for, because everybody has been using creams. Actually, most of my clients have their skin been burned, and some have patches, and everybody comes with their issues that they believe you can solve their issues. So I'm in the right moment, I'm in the right time, and I've helped a few, and I've seen changes, in my skin, because I haven't started using this thing a year ago, like how I started my company. I've been using them for many years. So I believe in them, and I know it works when we just pay attention and use the right things.
So the research started on you first.
Yes.
Interesting. And so you have customers who are coming, and you want them to keep coming back. So what kind of customer relations did you establish? Did you have like conscious customer relation tactics, or you just used your charming personality and you were sure they're gonna come back?
Actually, when I sell myself, or if my girls are not selling, when I sell the products myself, and I know they will come back. Why? Because the ingredients that are there, the benefits that each product can bring, it's a slow process because it's a natural product. Every benefit that you reap, it's slow. So once they start seeing results, and you will see results for sure, but it will be slow, but you'll see them. That's when they come back for more. You know, they could write emails, they could call me or refer somebody. So that's when I know it's working. So if it can work for my skin, definitely can work for yours too.
Interesting. And when you were building your team, like you didn't do it alone. The soap making, you don't do it alone.
No.
So when you're building your team and the people who are going to sell at farmers market, what is it that makes you choose them? Like, what qualities do you look for in the people who are going to work for you?
Okay, that's the hardest thing, picking somebody you want to work with. It's like picking your friends or deciding to be close to one family member over the other. I do interview anyone who comes to work for me, especially, let's example my girls who work at the farmers market. I just look for enthusiasm, and if they're willing to go the extra mile, are they excited about the whole idea, you know? It's really up to them. And do we have good chemistry? You know, when you talk to someone for the first time, you need to have that connection. And I trust my instincts a lot, especially in business. I think it's best if people just rely on instincts. Whenever you touch, you have to feel how good or how bad it will be. You just know. When you meet someone, you want to hire them, you just know if they're going to be good for you. You just know if it's going to work for your company. So that's how I pick my people. I just listen to what they're saying. I ask them a few questions. And sometimes I just leave them there and watch them over the window and see what they're going to do. You know, so
you leave them in the room.
Yeah.
And then you walk out and
just check what they're going to do. Are they looking to learn something? Like my assistants, my production assistant, we just full-time employees, are just 2, me and him. The rest, about 5 or 7 are part-time. Because at this early stage, you can't really afford to hire so many people full-time. One of the things I like about my assistant, he likes to learn. He loves to learn. And I had to teach him English slowly. But you could see when you're making something, he just comes and watches you do it, you know? and he asks you, Dada, what's this? You know, what's this? What's that? You know that this person is interested, and you know you're going to work with them for a very long time. And you kind of build trust around them as you go by.
And do you have like a standard workplace culture? For example, is it Google? They've created their workspace like a play area. Like they believe that when you're in such a space, that's when you get really good ideas, not the normal corporate suit and tie and everything. So do you have a workplace culture that you try to instill in the people who work for you?
Actually, we have a workspace. It's a small area, and we're really casual. We're casual, no suit and tie. I'm not a fan of suit and tie anyway. I could wear jeans all day, all year. But yeah, it's really casual. I just want them to be free because we create fun products, just mixing oils in here and there, and then they turn to be great. It's pretty fun. So I just want them to be free at a nice environment that is, you know, friendly. That's it.
So is there anything that you got wrong? Okay, apart from the first plant, are there things that you got wrong in the beginning and then your interaction with your customers actually made you realize that you needed to change something?
Yes.
Like
Yes. Our hair care, the conditioner and the shampoo. I was trained to do that, but in the beginning it was really good. Actually, it was good for hair. It was amazing. But then I had changed the values in my company. I wanted a product that doesn't use water and any kind of synthetics that are not, you know. And then I never wanted to use preservative. So I wanted to create a skincare line that is based on oils and butters and herbs with nothing else, with no fillers at all. So I had to cut that line down. Some customers really thought I should go on with it, but at the time it was kind of expensive to make it in the early stages. So I had to cut it down and concentrate on the products that are easy to make. They're easy for people to remember the ingredients and relate with them, and easy for us too. Yeah.
So what was your first big break? Like, when did you get your first game changer client who?
I think I'm still waiting for that.
Really?
Yeah. The ones, I'm still waiting for the big break. But there's small breaks, which are good.
Big breaks.
Yeah. Because right now, when I began the company, I used to approach shops, show them my products, and then they're like, maybe next time. But now I get emails from them. Like, hey, are you still making soap? So how about that? Can we work together? So it's kind of good right now that people come to you than you going to them because they have heard of your products somewhere. So it's nice. It's like a game changer. The tables have rolled now. So yeah.
Interesting. So when you're, like you've just said, there are shop owners who buy soap from you, there are guys who buy directly from you, like for their own use. Then there are guys who buy for promotions. And like I saw a promotion on social media and they were like, you can win New Year's Essence soap and products. So all these guys are different customer segments. Like there's for your use, there are retailers, and so all of them require different things. Like the retailer obviously doesn't interact with you the same way as the person who buys soap for themselves. So how do you like balance the different kinds of customers, and does one type of customer need something different from the other type of customer?
Most times, not really. Because as much as I give the authority to retailers to sell our products, every product that we sell has a way of contacting us. At the back of the bottle or the bar of soap, it has our contacts there. So they can talk to us directly. They can tell us what they want next, because we're still developing new products as we go by. So I do get clients to ask, do you guys have body scrubs? I bought this soap from some shop. So we note that and we put it down. But our clients have different needs because our skin is different. It's even, the skin on your face is even different from the one in your hand. So our clients come the same way. So every client has their own special need. Some with sensitive skin, they don't want funny smells in their soaps. Some are for their babies, so they take unscented. So definitely we try to balance our clients in that area. If they have this issue, you can get this and that. If you have this issue, you can get this. If you just want to use a natural product that you can love and can benefit your skin, then use this and that. So we try to diversify in that area.
So do you have a way of measuring progress? You know, like when you're starting a company, it's very easy to get fooled by a graph that I sold this, we made this much, we made this much, we made this much, and it looks like it's growing, but in actual sense, you're stagnating because it's the same people adding money to your business. Like you're not getting any new clients, you're not getting any new feedback or something like that. Do you have a way that you measure all these things for your company?
I do, but it's a very small way. We have targets that we set every month, weekly and monthly. So we try to see maybe this month who contacted us and how often and how much we have sold compared to the previous month. And if our sales are low, what can we do? What's missing? Sometimes we do call our customers and ask them directly. Sometimes they tell us what they want and they tell us their comments and everything. So we try to measure it in that way, like our interactions this month, how was it? And the next month, how should it be, you know? And then we look at the sales last year, this year, every week, and what can we do different for it to go up or down or whatever, yeah.
Okay. Has anyone else in Tanzania started making natural soap after you did?
Actually, there are people before me.
Really?
Like, funny enough, because we moved to Zanzibar last year, and in Zanzibar, everybody makes soap. Everybody does. At their Porsche, whatever, in their bedrooms, it's crazy. But I do have competitors, about two who are at the level where I am, because you can make so many soaps, but there are grades, different grades of soap depending on the oils you use and how your overall packaging is. So basically, there are a lot.
So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the competition?
I try to use ingredients that are very unique, and the difference between me and my competitors. Okay, some of my competitors don't use social media as much as I do. So I try to get the most visibility in that area. And then I try to create unique products that they don't offer at a particular moment. And I give my clients that brand experience that they can't get anywhere else. You know, when you talk to a client, you know your stuff, and you tell them this and this and this and that. And once you talk one-on-one, it's easier for them to be sold. So I can offer them the brand experience that they can never get anywhere else.
Interesting. So what have you learned so far, like from being an entrepreneur, starting, failing the first time, and what have you learned about being an entrepreneur that you can share with us today?
I think you should trust your instincts all the time. And they normally tell you everything you need to know. Even if you're meeting your client or you're meeting your sales girl or your sales guy, you're picking your teams, and you should really know who you can work with, because people are strange. And I've come across people who, they tend to want to help you, but they have their own intentions. But you can always tell The intuition always, you can always tell this person is just, so be very careful in who you deal with and who you bring into your circle. Because at the early stages of building a business, anything that comes in can alter your vision. Because you're very young, you're trying to grow. And if you just keep hearing different advices from people who have never even run a business, it's chaotic. It's really chaotic. That's why I try to stay grounded and stay focused. Just connect with people that you think they can help you. Not now or maybe tomorrow, or you think you have good energy with to grow your business and your personal life, because they kind of go hand in hand who you associate yourself with. And just trust your instincts all the time, all the time.
Okay. You've lived in different cultures. You've lived in LA, you've lived in New York, you lived in Dar, you lived in Malaysia, in Nairobi. So what have you learned about business from the different cultures that probably helps you and could help those of us here?
I would say being very fast. Like people out there, especially in Nairobi, they're really fast. Like if you have a deal or this is how it's done, it's fast. So I learned that culture there. So most of everything I do, I'm always in a rush to finish, which sometimes it might be not good. But yeah, in LA, it's a fun place. That's how I make my work environment very laid back and fun, and people are open to bring their opinions anytime. There's no one way to an answer. There's always different ways, and once you're over there and building a dream, nothing stops you. So you have to believe that nothing will stop you. If this is no, okay, we can go around that and make it a yes or a maybe, you know? So that's what I've learned, really, and being punctual.
Punctual.
At any meeting. I always arrive early at any meeting, and people get surprised, like, hey, you're here early. I'm like, hey, you told me it's 8 a.m. Here I am.
No, like you are early for this one.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Interesting. And what has surprised you the most about being an entrepreneur, having your own business?
Surprises. I wouldn't put it as a surprise, but maybe kind of disappointed, I would say. Because when I started my natural bath and body care, I wanted all my ingredients to be local. So I went out and searched for these ingredients I was to put in my products. And funny enough, okay, I was surprised. I visited Zanzibar for the first time and looked for certain oils. So everybody brings their samples on the table and they tell you this is lemongrass. But you look at that lemongrass and you look at that rose oil and you look at that lavender, they all smell the same. So for me to use that in my soap, it's going to be really hard. So as much as I wanted to use everything local and I believed my country had those local products, it was hard to get the quality that I wanted. So sometimes I do go out the country to look for them. And yeah, sometimes I do buy from the local market here, but it was kind of surprising that way.
But that's an opportunity now. Like, if I could make those products for you, you'd actually buy them for me.
Yes, definitely. Because this is the problem. We have the distillers that they use. Maybe they have only one. So lemon oil passes there, rose oil passes the same way, and they don't clean it well. So you end up having same smell for different oils, which it's an opportunity for somebody to do that. I cannot do that at particular moments, but maybe in future when we grow, we could distill our own oils in the backyard.
Unless someone can do it cheaply for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Are those machines expensive?
Pretty much they are.
They're very expensive. The
The
distillers?
distillers?
Yeah.
It depends which one you're looking for the big ones or the smaller. They're different sizes. You know, a Chinese guy can do anything for you, so you can get the cheaper one, you can get the bigger one. I don't know. Yeah.
This is an opportunity, guys. Like, seriously. So they're made in China, right?
The distillers, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. About how much? Like the smaller?
Oh, the last time I checked, it was about $1,000, $2,000 over there. The small one. So you can imagine if you want to serve my kind of industry, I need maybe 100 liters. Can you do that with a small one? Maybe for just home. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Noted. Is there anything you would do differently, like after being in business this far, apart from the first?
I would be more organized in the beginning.
More
like
organized.
I would put my things on the table very well before approaching any authorities or anything like that. And then, just pretty much what I would do different. But if I was given a chance, will I do it different? I don't think so, because I have learned throughout the way. It has made me stronger right now, and I understand things better right now. And as much as my foot is on the ground and cemented in this business, I'm grateful I went through all that path. And I do offer advice for people who are soap makers, who want to get their company established in the ways that it should go here, go there. Now I can give somebody direction. So pretty much I'm grateful I went through that, because now I can tell somebody, hey, this is how they want it done, and this is certification you need. And maybe for your industry, this is the type of clients you'll be serving. So it becomes easier for now to tell somebody what to do. So I wouldn't change anyway.
Okay. As we all know, this is Female Founders Month on Startup Grind. So are there any hurdles or any hardships that you think women have to go through when they're starting their businesses that maybe men don't go through the same struggles?
Most times when people don't really believe a woman can really run something and be firm, because sometimes I do approach my clients who are male, and then they ask me, who is the owner of this? Then I tell them it's me. I mean, who is the owner? Like, you with someone, you know? But they don't really believe us that we can do something and stand strong with our cause and just be firm. And then when you go out and look for a certain certification and you find a man is there, they just have a way to make you go round and round and just don't give you straight answers to whatever you're asking. So we get really problems in that area.
Ulterior motives.
Yeah, so we learn how to deal with them slowly.
How do you deal with them?
Come on.
Do you report somewhere? No, because ladies here have businesses and maybe they'd want to know, like.
Actually, when somebody puts their personal interest before the business that you're in, I don't think you should really work with that person, because he has already expressed his interest in that area. That means you'll never be interested in your business. So why waste time with one person when you can do with the next person that comes? So as much as you want to close a deal, don't even waste your time, because if somebody doesn't want an opportunity, somebody else wants it. So why should I waste time with you?
That's true. So what things do you think can be done, like in our entrepreneurship culture and the community, so that we can help more women come into entrepreneurship and start businesses and get the confidence?
Mostly the authorities who are attacking us from left, right, center.
Authorities.
I mean, I wouldn't want to mention them, but the people who give us the licenses to do things, they have to consider the type of business that we are doing and at what stage. For example, when Sido came to my then small factory, they understand what I did there because they teach soap at Sido. So they know the women who are done with their studies, they open a small place to make soap. So they got me. And they gave me the letter and a go-ahead to do business. And then these other people come and they tell me no. They have not even talked to Sido about my situation, which I thought was really not giving me a hand. Because at the end of the day, I'm creating jobs, I'm hiring people, I'm paying people. They're paying the taxes. So why making it so hard for me to move forward?
Interesting. Wow. Okay. What inspires you? Like, what makes you wake up every day to do this? Like you've said, the authorities are very hard on you, and what gives you the heart to keep going?
Actually, I don't wake up every day happy and wanting to work. There's some days which are really hard. You just ask yourself, like, am I really going to do this forever? Is this really what I'm called for? There are those questions you ask yourself. We're humans, you know? Some days just don't go right. And then when I have a bad day, you're just in the middle of it, you get a text, hey, your soap has really helped me, my skin is this and that. And then you get energy again. And you're like, maybe I can do just one more day, you know? I can just push through one more day, and then one day becomes a week and a month, and you just keep going. So you keep going.
But where did your love for natural things come from? Like, how did you start wanting to make natural stuff? You started using natural stuff when you were 17?
When I was, about 17. And this was inspired by my mom. She used to encourage me to use olive oil all over my body for fair skin, you know, from head to toe, and for the moisturizing property that it comes with. So I've used olive oil more than I've used any other oil in my life. So in high school, I used to use that every day for maybe 5 years next. So up to now, and when I told you that little part and how I came to make soap, I still fall in love with the natural oils and butters because I know they do really help the skin, you know? And then I look at myself and the benefit that I have reaped, I think it can help someone else do the same. So pretty much that's how I fall in love with the oils and the butters. And I read about them every day. And some of the stuff are not available here, so I go around and look for them. If they can work with my products, then I put them in there. So it's really, it's nice. It's interesting to learn something new every day.
Okay. So I'm going to ask the last two questions, and then I'll open it up to the audience to ask questions. So if you have any questions, start preparing them. So what are the opportunities in your industry that other people could benefit from that maybe are not being met right now? For example, the first one that we just spoke about. And then like tech innovators, people who do websites and programs and sales management. What are the opportunities that maybe could help you personally that other people should take advantage of?
I had a really hard time getting the right packaging for my product. And I went to some industry in Bezi, and I had drawn the design that I want and the material that I want. And then I went to this very big industry in Bezi, and I told them this is exactly how I want it to be. Because I'm very particular in what I want. Because I just want everything to be perfect. It cannot be perfect, but I like close to perfect. They looked at it and they gave me their samples that they had, and they could not make what I wanted them to make. And they told me to make what you want to make, you have to give at least, we have to buy a new machine for that. Because there's no demand for that right now. We can make it special for you. And they demanded a lot of money to buy that machine for me.
Like the one who was to buy the machine?
No, not the oil, but the packaging, the plastics that I use to package the products. So it wasn't financially sensible for me to invest that money at their factory to make stuff for me. So that was their job, to buy the machine and to make stuff for me and for somebody else who's gonna come. So that's the hardest thing. Also, when I talk to other soap makers at the market fair, they have the same problem with the packaging. We have to order either China or US or South Africa for the type of materials that we want. Because I want somebody to touch my product and feel like it was shipped all over to their house, you know? Because I have clients, they come to my table and they ask me, is this made in Tanzania? No, it's not, you know? So they don't believe Tanzania can make
Good things.
good stuff, yes, which is sad. But that's one opportunity.
You know,
really.
one of the lessons, Guy Kawasaki is this really good marketing guy. He used to market he was the brand ambassador for Apple during Steve Jobs. And he says one of the lessons he learned from Steve Jobs is that the design, the beauty actually matters a lot. That's why the iPhone is what it is, because when it came out, people were in love with the design. So that's a really interesting opportunity for those people listening. Packaging, that's a good opportunity. So is there any message maybe that you think you would want to share with the Startup Grind community, the entrepreneurs over here?
Well, I would say it's okay to have a dream, and it's okay to dream as long as you want to. But deep inside, you have to really think how far you can push with your dream and give it a chance, you know? It's okay to move from one dream to the next. It's fine. I did it. And I'm okay. I'm doing really well. So just keep pushing. Put your feet on the ground once and for all and just live day by day. Because as much as I want to think how 5 years from now is going to be, 10 years or 20, I just want today to matter. Then wake up tomorrow, have new goals to do, and just day by day. You know, you don't have to push yourself so hard, or somebody else is doing this and that is really big, but just be you and stay harmony with yourself. Just observe everything around you and take note and just live a free life. Be optimistic and just go on slowly.
One more question. Starting a business is really hard. Like, we all know that. Most of us here know that. And is there anything that the Startup Grind community can do that can make your business? You've started, what, 2 years?
2 years is an idea, but selling to the audience and interacting with them was in June 2014. So basically a year.
Wow.
In business. It's been really rough, but I'm still smiling.
And you've learned all that in 1 year.
Yes.
Okay, so is there anything that our community can do to help you, like, move forward?
Talk about New Year's essence wherever you go.
Social media.
Yeah, social media, and if you happen to buy any of our products and use them, let us know your views, what you think, what we should change, what's nice, what's not good. So yeah, I really love feedback so that I can grow and make changes whenever it's possible.
Okay. So that's all the questions I have. So now I want to open up to the audience. Anyone with a question? The first hand was here.
I want to know, first of all, what's your target market? And whether your product is just catered for women or is it unisex?
My products are unisex, and all of my clients do ask me, is this only for you women? Because I'm a woman and my sales girls are, you know, and they're unisex, a man can use because we all need to shower, don't we? And we use oil to hydrate and condition our skin. Our skin needs that. Doesn't matter you're a man or you're a woman, you need to cleanse your skin, to moisturize it, to condition it, and scrub it once in a while, because that's the process of developing new skin. And we have to have new skin after a certain time. So they're unisex. In our target market, based on the quality and the prices that our ingredients are, we have targeted the high and the middle class. And basically anyone who can afford, then yes, because it's a luxury brand, and it's pricey at the same time. And it's pricey because of the oils that we use, because we don't mix with anything else. We use authentic oils, which are not cheap. And most of our oils are organically certified, and it's not cheap. Wow. So we try to use the best for the best, and we don't dilute or chakachua, the way they say it. But yeah, we offer the best for anyone who can afford to buy it.
I have 3 questions. 1, are you ready to share with us the numbers involved in your product? Like, you started in June. How many clients have you shared with them about your product? How many products you have sold, and out of those clients, how many bought? That's 1. If you're ready to share with us, I'll be glad. But if not, just keep it for yourself. And the second question is, out of the way you produce your product, your soap and everything, I know you pass through various stages like packaging, and you purchase materials and everything. Which area do you think you need improvement in, like the vendor you are purchasing from, you need them to improve? Oh, the area which you think as Tanzania has to improve in that. You have mentioned that packaging, you're not happy with the packaging. And I know that will be the area of improvement you want from other entrepreneurs to come with a solution with that. Which other areas do you think somebody must arise with a solution which will be helpful for your product? The third question is, if you are ready to invite a partner who can push your business, invest in anyhow, so that you can. You've mentioned that you have only worked with the five stores, is it? Yeah, maybe we can make it to the larger scale, maybe nationwide or something like that.
I wouldn't want to share the numbers at this particular stage right now, but I would like to say our client base has really grown for the time I started until now, because I came from selling 1 soap a month to 200 or 300 barrels a month. So definitely it has grown. I wouldn't want to share exactly numbers right now, but maybe in future I could. And your next question, apart from the packaging that I have a problem with, produced locally, with the quality is very low, that's one thing. And another thing, the oils that I said, if somebody else could invest in distilling distilling natural oils that we have right now, because we have a lot of lemons growing somewhere, and coconut oil, and just have it purified at the quality that I buy elsewhere, that would be really helpful. And the third question, I think I forgot.
Third question is whether you want a partner, like
yes.
supply nationwide.
I am open to opportunities of distribution and other shops who would love to carry our products. That definitely, I'm game for that.
Will you consider online marketing, online shops?
Actually, I have one, that's Jumia, who is carrying our products and delivering all over Tanzania. That was one of the best partnership that I signed a couple of months in February. So they help us to deliver our products anywhere in Tanzania. So
nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
I was actually thinking of them. Any other question? Are you pitching a business?
Sorry, what's your current production capacity?
Oh, I thought I was gonna get a mic. Sorry. Okay. For now, we started with producing 1,000 soaps a month. Yeah, the beginning was about 200, 300 because I was alone. So now I have an assistant who produce much more. And for other products, they could go for 1,500 to 2,000 a month. So we're really a small scale. So we try to grow with our clients and the demand slowly. So pretty much that's it.
Okay. It seems I asked all the right questions.
Yeah.
So you talked about the challenges of being, like, I think Emmanuel asked, is there a challenge for being a lady, an entrepreneur in Tanzania? Can I ask, are there any opportunities that arise from being a lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I will be honest with you. Maybe I will speak for myself. There's good chemistry that can go around between a man and a woman, you know? Sometimes it works for the best, sometimes it doesn't work for the best. When I approached one of the offices and I had an issue to solve, I had to meet the boss of that area, and it happened to be a man. And I explained to him my issue. I was in a really big mess. And he kind of understood and made it easier for me. I'm not sure if he made it easier for me because I was a woman, but I kind of got away with a lot of things. So I would say it does help. Dress pretty, big smile, red lipstick. I mean, it can open any door.
Interesting. Yes. First lady.
Hi, Helen.
Hello.
I want you to advise me. As a mother, you know, when you have a child, you'd like your child to use natural products, and those are the products that you produce. What do you think that I can use on my child, especially for my son? He has issues with his skin. He was born with eczema. So I'd really like to know what kind of products can I use, and what do you have to offer on the table that will make it easier for me to give to my son?
Okay. Thanks, Amanda. Most of natural products treat a lot of skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rashes, and things like that. But when we deal with baby skin, which is very delicate, we advise products that are scentless, like the likes of shea butter or coconut oil or something that doesn't have strong scent to irritate the baby's skin because it's still growing and it's still maturing to be better. So I've had clients who their kids or themselves are suffering with eczema. Actually, my teacher, the Malaysian lady, one of her workers had eczema. So they used to use a lot of shea butter to treat her skin. You get relief. You don't really get healed from the condition, but you get relief as you use natural products. So I advise you to use as much as natural products as you can get.
Interesting. Yes.
You said you haven't broken through to the market like you want to. So what is your growth strategy? How do you want to scale up? Are you looking for partners who you'll partner with, or how are you going to do it? Just curious.
For as much as we're small and growing slowly, we try to extend where we can serve. You know, we don't want to go beyond. As much as I want so many people to carry my land all over Tanzania, but how much can I produce to cater for that demand? Because everybody's looking for natural products right now. And I see my clients, I see the numbers every day, and sometimes I can run out of products and it gets crazy. So we're growing slowly, and we could have partnership to move our products elsewhere, but we want to go as far as we can produce. So we want to gradually grow with the market and everything. So if I had a lot of capital, maybe we could go overboard really quick. So yeah.
How much capital? How
He's
much
very
capital?
serious, huh?
No, seriously. How much capital is enough? Let's say if I was to bring you an investor, how much would you need to like achieve the targets that you're thinking about?
Roughly, maybe 100 M,
100.
possibly. To start with.
Only 100?
Can you give me right now?
I thought you'd ask for more.
Because as much as I want a lot of money, but that means that I have to also expand on the people I'm hiring and working with. That's why I prefer to grow as we go by. So it's good for me, it's good for my company, and it's good for my personal growth as well as a businesswoman and as a person. So whichever, I would open to such opportunities. I'm not sure for partnership at the moment, but we could consider depending on the terms once they're on the table. Yeah.
And if it is going. Oh yeah. So if you were to like make the oils yourself and make the soap, like the oils which you're saying the quality is not really good. First of all, 2 questions. Those oil, that machine, after you've made the oils, you can sell to all soap makers or just
You
natural?
can sell to even the people who make cakes, because most of the oils that we use are very edible, especially the essences that we use, definitely. But you see, Emmanuel, if I was to make the oil, let's say the lemon oil myself, that's lemon oil seed. You need about 1,000 kgs of that to make just 1 liter. So it's crazy.
So the problem is getting the seeds.
The seeds, and the right seeds at the right condition, which were planted at certain temperatures, and they were not fertilizers. It's crazy. And
So you'd need to have a plantation of lemons
Definitely.
to get lemon seeds to.
Definitely.
Wow. Dream just dying. Okay.
As a upcoming entrepreneur, or for a new entrepreneur, what advice would you give from the lessons that you've gained and experience that you've gained, so that they can get a shorter or a faster turnaround result, considering that if you're investing in a certain business as an entrepreneur, that is your source of livelihood, so you expect turnaround not just for the business, but for your own gain and survival. So from your experience, what would you say you would have done that would have probably given you a shorter turnaround?
Thanks, Josephine. I know them because they're my friends. So I would advise a new entrepreneur or a new startup to really find someone in that industry that can take you through every process. Because it was hard for me, and I had my business stop for about 8 months because I didn't know certain things. So if I knew the steps and the stages, the turnaround would have been faster for me. For a new entrepreneur, just get hold of someone who is in your industry, learn if they're willing to tell you their stuff, go online, read about people who are in your industry in other countries, what did they do? Because that's how I did it, you know. Read a lot of books and manage your money well. That's the first thing I would say. Because, yes, finances are just a little tricky. It's never too much and it's never too little. So just know where your money is going and what's doing there and what can come out of that. So once you do that, I think you can really go forward and make your dreams come true.
My question is just on the partnership and growth issue. Are you afraid, like when you get to a point where you get a big partner who comes on board with certain regulations and whatever, and then you're afraid that your product might become watered down or diluted, and are not the product that your past customers who came on board when you just started know about, and now they're given a mass-produced product like, let's say, Omo or Ariel or whatever, or Geisha that's in the market. So what's your take on that, and what are you doing so that doesn't happen?
Okay. Thanks, Nick. I do have values and principles in my business, and I want to stay true to my values until the end of time, because that's what brought me my first client, and that's what will bring me more clients in future. So if a partner comes with their own terms in order to invest in my business, which has its own terms and values, and if they don't align with what I'm doing, I will definitely say no. I wouldn't care how much they're giving me, but at the end of the day, it's people who are buying my stuff, who believe in what I make. So I will definitely not go with it. But at the end of the day, if you put water and preservative, it wouldn't be the essence that I started with in the beginning. So definitely it wouldn't work for me, and I would have to say no.
So from just being at Boni Hub and working with so many like entrepreneurs, pretty much I think young entrepreneurs, I think one of the huge challenge that it's there, it's the like I'm one of the people who's very impressed that I think your mom is here, right?
Yes. Hi, Mom.
and like I feel like I don't know if it's true that could you attribute your success to the support of that you have with your family and your mom? But I really want to appreciate that, like, she's here right now, and maybe not many of us actually have that support. So I want to ask you, do you attribute that success also partly to your family and the support you have to your mom? And for the people who don't have that support, what should they do?
I would say I owe my success to my family and my friends. My mom and my dad have been on my back since day one. The moment, actually, everything I wanted to do in my life. In the beginning, I wanted to do modeling and acting. They supported me. They gave me the finances. I went away, I studied and came back. In this business, my father gave me the backyard twice, and they gave me a little money to start off the business with. So definitely I was backed up by my family. And my immediate friends who were like my lab rats, who tested my products and gave me reviews. So basically, it's around that. And I would be wrong if I would say I did it all by myself. So for people who don't have what I have, I would say there's a lot of ways to raise funds and have support. Because if you're doing something that is true, something that you believe it's going to work, God has a way to make people available for you. So just look around and connect with your immediate friends, people you went to school with, people you go to basketball with. You knock on doors and ask for help. So that's how you get things done, by talking and expressing what you want to do. And someone can tell how true your idea is and if they want to support you. So that's how you can get help.
Also, Startup Grind is about creating that family and that culture. That's what we are doing here. So if you don't have that support out there, just reach out to us and we'll find ways to support you. Yeah. And I'm not pitching, I'm just stating a fact. Any other question?
Anyone who has a startup knows that there are two parts which are really hard for a startup, which is expansion and fighting the will to stop. What I want to ask is, what is your advice to fight that will to stop when things are not going well, especially in the beginning? Once you start, things are not going so well. What do you do then? Where do you go? Whether it's psychological, it's physical, or whatever. Where do you go to find the will to stay? Because everyone knows the beginning is always hard, then there's the middle, then if you persevere, there's a success which comes with it. So what do you do then to push the will to keep doing what you're doing? And the second part is, when you were talking earlier, you spoke about when, I think TBS or something, they told you to shut down your home hub and take it somewhere else. And you said if it wasn't for your father, chances are you wouldn't be here. Are you saying that that is the only thing that took you to where you are now, or was it a big part? Because that's what I'm talking about, stopping. What makes you stop at the end of the day? And another thing, this is the second part. When you're approaching people, when you're pitching your product to people, what would be your advice? Because whatever you're selling, you need to communicate it to people. You need to go to offices, or you need to go to shops, in your case. How do you approach people? What's the best way? Because, an example, for example, in an office, there's a receptionist who, as much as she or he has little power in the office, but from that point on, you can be stopped. You know what I'm saying? So how do you push through? How do you approach such an organization with so many barriers to get to the right people? What would be your advice?
Okay, to start with the first one, I could round up and I could say what keeps me going from hardship to hardship. The first thing I would say, you really have to fall in love with what you're doing, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that can make you go farther. Hardship will come. You'd want to stop almost every day of your life. But what keeps you going is the love that you have for that thing. And I remember a friend of mine told me a long time that, Helen, if you're in business, don't fall in love with it, because business go out just like that. So you just don't have to fall in love with that. It goes down, you move to somebody else. But that's the difference between a business person and an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs fall in love with what they're doing. So you don't stop when everything else around you shuts down. You just think, who can help me? What can I do? You know, as for me, if things do get down and things get really, really messy, but I trust God and I owe my life to Him. He gives me clues that you have one more day that you can change, you can go on, you can do this and that. So I have this sixth sense that tells me I'm in the right place. So even if tomorrow I have no sales, I know I have to do something different to make that sale. So you don't stop when things stop. You know, you just have to move on and do things one day at a time. So fall in love with what you're doing, know you're doing the right thing, listen to yourself. Is it the right thing? What are you telling yourself? You know? And the people around you, just have a positive atmosphere around you. People you interact with, your friends, you know? That energy, you need that to survive. So if you have negative energy somewhere, just take it off, because it's going to be in your business as well, in your mind, in everything around you. So for the next question, if it wasn't for my dad to give me his backyard again, I would be here, but it would take me a little longer to be here. I would definitely find another option for me to do, either gather around some money and rent a place, but I will definitely pick myself up from that moment. The opportunity came, my father offered me a space, I took it. If it wasn't for him, it could be someone else. It could be just something, but God wanted me to do it. So I did it because of that. And your last question? Can keep up.
The last question is, how do you approach the right people?
Oh, the right people.
In an organization. And what's your advice on pitching?
First, look deeply into your connections. Who is that person connected to in your cycle? Because some people don't just want you to go in and pitch your work, but if you're referred by someone, it becomes a little easy and the atmosphere really comes down.
Changes,
Yeah,
yes.
changes. So I basically look for who that person knows, if I could follow them on Instagram or just not even follow, because they will notice you followed. So you just go like FBIing them and know who they are and who they are connected to, and just know a way to get there. Sometimes, yes, I do knock on doors, put my products there to maybe a shop owner or a manager or whoever, tell them my story. They can tell if they want to work with you. And you can tell if you want to work with this person. Because at the time, I walked into a shop, I told this lady who's a shop owner, this and this and this and that, but I'm the one who didn't want to work with that person. Because our chemistry was a little off. And I knew we were not going to be in business together for so long. So why start one anyway? So sometimes you really have to get along with your connections and work it out.
Interesting. What's
I don't know whether it was Emmanuel who started this way. He said venture capitalists right now at Silicon Valley invest in people who failed. I don't know, because they believe they will avoid making mistakes. So have you ever failed before?
I've had business ideas that failed, but this is my first business, to be honest with you. This is the first business I've ever put my 100% into. But the rest failed at the business plan stage, I would say that way.
Africans
but,
abroad?
Eh?
Africans abroad.
That wasn't my business. Okay, he's talking about the TV show that I was in I was in it, but that wasn't my business. I was just going there, presenting, and go off, sleep.
You're gonna get a salary.
Yeah, but I do fail in the production process because some of the products that we produce, they don't get to the market because they didn't turn out so good. We test them and they're not good. And I have failed a couple of times until I build the whole line. So you lose money, you lose your ingredients, it's just everything. Because I want everything to be out there at its best state and its best quality. So I failed in terms of producing new products and developing them.
Oh, okay. Someone's telling me time is over. So, thank you very much for coming, first of all.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your time with us. And for that, we decided to get you gifts. We know how much you like reading.
Yes, I do.
And we know how much you hate school.
I didn't put it that way.
But we know how much you find school hard.
Yes.
And someone told me at one point you were supposed to take an MBA and then decided to do your business instead.
Yeah. You want me to talk about that?
Huh?
You want me to talk about that?
You want to talk about it?
You want me to? Okay. Yes, I did enroll in MBA. The thing is, I want to get a PhD someday, which I will. So I started with MBA. That time, Nuya Essence was not there. It was there, but it was very early stages. And I did my undergraduate at United States International University, and they used American system to teach their curriculum. So I come to Tanzania, enrolled in an MBA, and lecturers just throw everything on the table for me to digest and have an exam next week. I'm a slow learner. That was not going to happen for me. So it's like, and that's the time I was developing my business. And then I have meetings from Monday to Monday. It was hard for me, definitely. I had to pick one. And I picked Nuya Essence. So.
Okay. So we decided to give you a crash course. Okay. An MBA crash course. The 10-day MBA.
10 days, that's quick. Okay. Thank you very much.
This is a crash course on
you.
business. And then Paulo Coelho is a really, you've read something by him, right?
Yes, Breeder.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't even need to say, this guy, if you're talking about essence and the essence of being and being human and yeah, this is someone you want to read. So
Thank you so much.
Karibu sana,
Thank
and
you
thank you
so
for
much.
coming.
Thank you.
So to end, I'd like us to stand and give this entrepreneur a standing ovation for what she is doing. You know, when you meet people like her, you get encouraged to keep doing what you're doing. So thank you for coming and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.